Hi FlossTube, it's Julie, SylverStitches. I am back for another update. I'm only this higher up, only because I'm in my pajamas. So, over the last hour and a half, I decided that I wanted to take part in the Stitch 9 challenge. So, what's going to happen? So I'm going to start with my daily update, and then I'll talk a little bit about that afterwards. So, everything's staying the same. I'm still planning on doing X amount of minutes for X amount of stitches for all of that stuff. But I'll show you yesterday's progress, which wasn't a lot because even though I had the day off, we decided to not spend it at home. So it took a lot of time out of stitching. Anyways, that's okay. So I only got to work on two pieces yesterday instead of the 9 that I wanted to work on, but that's okay. I've seen you've all seen them before in the past few days because apparently my wheel is broken and it keeps coming up with the same stuff. So the first one was this one. So Mini Banner Summer, Mini Banner Summer, and by Debbie Mum. And I just got a chance to work on the border, the outline of the roof, because I figured at one point it would be easier to just fill in instead of having to count all the way across every time. So that's where I am for that one. So I just filled in the light brown border there of the roof. The next piece that I spun for was from the Big Book of Cross Stitch Designs. So those are the fancy teapots. So if you don't remember them for some reason, they're right here, the fancy teapots. And so where I left off the last time I was stitching on this was I had to frog out a whole lot of stitches only because I counted wrong way back when. Like when I last put this down before I decided to do this whole thing for this year-long piece of this year-long challenge that I've decided to do for myself. So I ripped out everything down here and I started redoing it. So it's now on the right count. So I'm just going to keep going with that. Yeah. So these two pieces seem to be coming up quite often. No idea why, but that's okay. It just means that more work is getting done on them. So that's that for the progress from yesterday. I only got 2 pieces done. But before I got started today at 4:30 in the morning, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the Stitch 9 challenge that Farm Girl Stitcher has decided to propose on a whole lot of Stitcher community. So my choices were based on the wheel. So my January wheel, I spun it 9 times, and those are the 9 things that I decided to stitch for. Some of them are teeny tiny, some of them, in comparison, I only have a few stitches in, so it'll be interesting to see what happens this year, because that's the whole fun of it, right? To see if you can make the goal of at least most of them, right? So I'm gonna put that with that because that belongs over there. Sorry. Say hello to Lexus. She is waiting for food. It's only 4:35. It's not happening yet. So no particular order, just from where I unbagged and unkitted. Unbagged everything. Took it from the stash that it was in. So here we go. The first one not the first one that I spun, but the first one on the pile, was Enchanting Dragonfly by Doreen Jones. I'm really excited to see this piece if it gets finished this year. That's my goal. That's my hope. To probably get the majority of these pieces finished. I only see myself really maybe not finishing one or two, but this is one of them. This is one of the full coverages that I hope to finish because I love it so much. Anyway, so this is where I'm at. Same progress of last time because I hadn't worked on it since. But my next go-to after that will be filling in the rest of this bright, the shade of pink. So the pink, I don't know how you guys do this. The pink the pink that is like this lighter shade goes here and there as well. So the next time you see my nails, they're going to be different. I don't know if I'm going to change colors but they're dead. They're dead. Anyways, so that's Enchanting Dragonfly by Doreen Jones. So that is piece number, actually, in reality, it's piece number 9 of the 9 pieces. I don't know. The plan to get through these this year, I'll talk after, because I don't want to sidetrack and be longer than needed and all of that stuff. So we're just going in backwards order. So the second last piece that I spun for was the Starfish by Mill Hill. And this is the piece that I decided to tear out instead of frog out. And it's on the perforated plasticky paper, wherever that is. So we'll see how that goes. This is where I'm at. So right now I'm just filling in this bottom part. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if, hopefully I'll finish that piece because it is a smaller piece, but at the same point, also full color fridge, also with beads. So I've never fully completed a project that has beads on it before. So maybe this will be the year of firsts. The next piece that I had was Winter Frosty Snow Day, so it's that one. It's out of this book, Seasonal Wordplay. I also found some magazines along the way that had the whole series in it, at least the summer and spring, but offhand I can't remember what they were right now, but they're in my stash pile somewhere in this house. So this is where I'm at. So last time I stitched on this, I was working on this S. Where's the S? I was working on that S, so it's not finished yet, but that magically took me like 8 or 9 minutes to do. Oh boy, it was a lot of double checking, so I didn't have to fix anything else later on. The next thing that came up was from the Seasonal Samplers. I'm hoping to finish this one, not this one, but the one that's in this book, because again, it's pretty simple, and it's on the back, so it's right there. The snow-capped trees is what it's called. Some stitchers have done this before, so I'm looking forward to the progress that I get on this. Here it is. So I just have half the alphabet done. This is a row of flowers, the trees, the hearts, and up here is the starting of a row and the chunks of trees again. You know how you try and sometimes fold up a fabric and it doesn't work out? That's because that goes like that. There we go. There we go. Real life, people. Real life. Real life, no edits. Alright. So, the next thing I spun for, or at least in my pile of the 9, are tea time treats. This was a freebie. So it's small, like it's an uber small. Tea time treats by the World of Cross Stitching freebie kit. And this is where I'm at. Again, no progress because I haven't worked on them in a few days. Actually, I haven't spun for him at all in this rotation yet. So this is what he's still looking like. Sorry, the next one again is a super small. Yeah, I have 3 super smalls. So, Delightful Dear. So as you can remember, I'm just stitching the head. And this is where I'm at. Still no progress because I haven't spun it again yet. So that's where it is. 3 more. I'm kind of excited about this one because I have a feeling I need to want to finish this because it's been in my stash for a really long time. And I keep procrastinating and putting it off. So hopefully by the year's end, I will get this one done too. So Mill Hill Peacock. And I don't know how I'm going to do this because it's see-through-ish fabric. There we go, that's a little better. So this is where I'm at. Sorry about the crumpledness. I don't understand this fabric. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. It's going to be exciting when it's finished because, like I said, it's been in my need to finish pile for a long time. It was supposed to be for one of my friends before she moved away to, well, no, she's back now, so she went away to school for a year. She went over to England for a year to go to school, but now she's back, so I don't know if I'll give it to her. I don't know if I'll keep it for myself. We'll see how that goes. The next one is a super mini, like a super mini compared to the other ones. This is No Pain, No Gain by the New Berlin Co. What do you think that was? I have 3 cats. Okay. And no progress yet because I haven't spun him yet, but here is where he is. He's got his head and his arms and his legs. He just needs his body and everything else that goes with that piece. But progress, people, progress. This is the next piece is the piece that I don't know if I'm going to finish because I might surprise myself, of course, but there's not enough done on it and it's too big. So it is Fairy Tale by Dimensions. And as you all can recall, I only have a page by 5 rows done. So that's only the first 5 rows, or the first 5 columns, sorry. And then I'm just starting on, this is the first page, the first quarter of the first page. So I'm not even anywhere close to, you know, we'll see how far that gets. So my plan to incorporate these 9 pieces into stitching this year, they're going to be on a wheel, of course. Hi, Alexis. Oh, the big stretches. There's a pretty girl. Sorry. Okay. I plan on each month, if it has a 9 in it, then I will stitch it. So the 9th, the 19th to the 29th. So 3 days a month. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see how many pieces I can get finished. I don't know if that's enough time or not enough time, or we'll see how that goes. At least I'll, we'll see. So that's the wheel that I'll spin from on the 9th, the 19th, and the 29th of each month. And then decided that I wanted to change my wheel up a little bit, not drastically. I still have the 31 pieces, but my main house wheel, when I stitch from home, has only the projects that are not kitted up. So I think there's 8 of those. So the anything that did not come already in a kit. So if I bought just the pattern and just the fabric and just the threads, then that's the wheel that those projects are in. And then I have an on-the-go projects. On-the-go projects are all the, like, the out-of-the-house projects, all of the already kitted up, so you don't even need to think about, you know, oh, where's that color, what's this going on, because that's just easier to do, and you're not, you know, thinking, oh, I left, you know, 310 at home and I need 310 because this big block is done there. It's just easier. So if I'm, you know, at doctor's appointments with James, or if I'm in the car just being a passenger, if I'm, you know, down at the pharmacy, I have certain pieces to work on. So if I decide to ever want to take a lunch project for when I'm at work, those are the pieces that I will be bringing. And then the third wheel is the Stitch 9 challenge. So those are the those are the 3 wheels that I have going on this month. At one point, I was going to do, this was like January 1st when I thought I was gonna conquer the world, but I was gonna start a high tea the last Sunday of each month, but then I realized if I start a high tea, then I'm starting something new, and that goes past everything. So maybe what I'll do is in all of the different wheels, the thing that I want to stitch the most on, like, because I do have a few certain pieces that I'm absolutely like head over heels for, right? So that are bigger, larger projects. So maybe I'll put those in the wheel and do those as the high tea start or high tea continuation, so that, you know, progress is progress, right? So as of right now, that's it for me. I don't have anything else. So we talked about progress from yesterday. We talked about the Stitch 9 challenge. We talked about how I'm setting up my different wheels, and I think that's it. So part of me needed to film this video today, right now, because I wanted to continue stitching at 4:30 in the morning. Part of me wants to go back to bed, of course, because hello, it's only not even 5 o'clock yet. James taunted me with going out to coffee at 4 a.m. So that's kind of what got the ball rolling of, or 3 even, it was 3 o'clock. Don't ask. We have weird sleep schedules. And now he's gone back to bed. I'm like, you got me up for nothing. Now I'm awake. I'm pretty sure. Now I'm awake. Even though I look like this. Anyway, I might wake him up in an hour and be like, hey, let's go. Because, you know, normal people are doing that at this time. So, that is it for me. I will talk to everybody later. I hope everybody has a great stitchy day. And hopefully, not hopefully, because I know I'll be stitching today. So, I will have an update for you tomorrow. And I don't work until tomorrow night. So, I have all day to film tomorrow. So, that's it for me. I'm going to head out and start working on possibly more of a prayer for St. Francis, because that's what I spun for this morning, the first thing. So yay, it's a new piece that I haven't worked on in a really long time. So that's the good. yeah, so I'll talk to, come on now. I'll talk to everybody later. Ciao. Adios. What do I do? Who knows? It's 4:51 in the morning. Bye, everybody.